Well, I've just added yet another microphone to my collection, and I'm not exactly sure when or if this trend will ever stop. Now, of course, you've read the title, so you know exactly what the microphone is, and it's this Neumann TLM-103, the microphone that's doing you all a huge favour by covering up my stupid-looking head. So if you've followed my channel, you'll know by now that I've got quite a lot of saxophones in my collection, and maybe that's quite unhealthy, but I don't care. I enjoy the hell out of it, and nothing's going to change my mind about that. It's my passion, it's my heart. I love everything to do with saxophone, but that little trend, well, I wouldn't say a trend, it's a passion. So that little passion has now spilled over to the world of microphones, because I'm seeing a pattern develop. I've now got a ridiculous collection of microphones, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and growing, and yeah, it's way too much. But I don't care, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm absolutely loving it. So with me trying to justify this, I just really can't. I'm just trying to reassure myself that it's very okay to have way too many saxophones and now way too many microphones. I can't really justify it, can I? I just have to lean into it and enjoy it. So let's move on to the enjoying part, which is this new one that I've just been picking up. And of course, if you are in the know, you've heard about Neumanns. And Neumanns are known for very, very good quality microphones. And I do already possess a few Neumanns. What a surprise. In my little collection, I've got a handheld Neumann, the 105. I've also got two little TLM 102s, which is like the little baby brother of this. And what's the other one I've got? Yes, the KM 184. I think I've got one of them. I had two, but I moved one on. You see, I do sell some stuff, but that's still way too many, isn't it? And I got kind of curious, and that's kind of dangerous for somebody like me. Once I get that itch, I have to scratch it, and the scratch ended up in this coming to me, and as soon as I seen it, I was like, yep, you now live with me. And that's exactly how it's here. So that's the backstory out of the way. First of all, this is the Shure PGA 27, and before you get to hear it on the saxophone, you're going to get to hear it on my voice. So I'm going to switch this one out, and you're going to hear this Neumann in 3, 2, 1, here. I think I'm going to need a little filter with this to talk through. And now I get the chance to use this. Oh yeah. But now I've got this on, it's tickling my nose. This is not what it's for. It's not for me to talk through it. This is supposed to be on an overhead microphone out of the way of human faces and noses that it's going to tickle. So I think I'm going to need one of these. That is much more comfortable. At least I'm not getting my nose tickled anymore. At one point, I actually was going to sneeze, but I'm glad I didn't do that. So let's try this microphone in a couple of different positions. I'm going to try it the traditional way, which is in front of the bell of the saxophone. And then my new kind of favourite way, which is more like how a drummer has their mics as a drum overhead. So it'll be over there, pointing down towards the saxophone, and that gives it a bit more of a natural sound. So with that said, after my experimentation, I'll catch you lot after the demos. Okay, so these final thoughts, how do I start? Well, first I'll start by saying you might have noticed, or maybe not, that I've switched out this pop filter so I could put this sponge on. I really wanted to use this fluffy one, but it kept tickling my nose, and I wanted to get up close and personal so you could hear that Neumann sound. Listen to how absolutely beautiful that is. It is just so smooth and has a rich sound. Although the word rich might be a Freudian slip, they're not exactly what you'd consider as a cheap budget microphone because these are quite expensive. And Neumanns come with that real guarantee of this wonderful sound. So basically you're getting what you pay for. You do spend a lot of money, but you get a lot of quality. Now, yes, I'm talking about in general on the voice. It sounds wonderful, but this is more about the saxophone. But I couldn't help it. I just had to showcase how great it sounds when I'm talking into it. So it won't come as any surprise when I say I like this microphone on my saxophone. When I had it at the front of the bell, it had that nice projected, clean sound. And when this was used in the overhead position, I felt that it gave the saxophone such a nice, open, spacious sound, a very natural sound to me, and it also picked up certain frequencies that you don't get when you're recording with the microphone at the front of the bell. I like that overhead position. It's kind of my new favourite position for recording saxophone. Maybe I should do something where I'm recording with one of these at the front of the bell and something on the overhead as well. I think that might be a fantastic combination to blend them two sounds, but I'm kind of going off on a tangent there because that's another thing, that's recording techniques. Now jumping back on the train tracks in the right direction, it's about this 103, and out of the Neumanns that I own, this is my favourite. It is just an all-round fantastic sounding microphone. I mean, maybe some other models would be brilliant for voices, but this is not about voices. This is about saxophones. Oh man, I've just noticed I've been wearing these big white chunky things on the top of my stupid head all the way through this final thought section. Well, who cares? I'm going to keep it in. So I want to say thank you very much for checking out my video. I wish you a wonderful saxophone journey. Go on. Bye-bye. Go on. Go away. I said go away.